Hello students, welcome to the chemistry sessions, and I hope you all are prepared for the questionnaire round now. So in order to test your knowledge, I've got a set of questions for you that is on to the NEET pattern. So you need to answer each one of them. Just quickly grab your pens as well as notebooks, then you need to answer question number 1. So what does question number 1 says? Which one is the correct order of acidity? So you need to find out the correct order of acidity. These type of questions are very much repeated in each and every exam, be it CBSE, be it IIT, be it NEET. So you need to have a proper hold over this concept. So in order to check the acidity, what do you need to do? So if you've got a set of alkenes, alkanes and alkynes, so you need to actually, what is an acid? An acid always donates protons. So acid is the one which donate protons, donate H plus. So the approach for this question will be, you need to actually remove one H plus from each and every molecule and then find out what is the actual stability of the anion obtained. So that is the approach over here. What all kinds of molecules we are given. So just quickly analyze the options. Here we have got an alkene, that is the ethene. This is what? This is what we have got is again an alkene, that is propene. And over here it's triple bond, that means I've got alkyne over here. The remaining portion has been written over here, and again what do we have? We have got here acetylene, that is also an alkyne. So I've got alkynes, I've got alkenes, I've got alkenes. Over here I've got acetylene, I've got propylene, I have got ethene, ethane. So none of the options is actually having similar kind of molecules, but if you observe, there may be some different kind of molecules given in each and every option. So you need to find out first of all the answer, but for that approach would be, so in the case of alkenes, alkanes and alkynes, I hope you must have recalled the concept by now. So if I talk about the alkynes and alkene, so I am taking up the simplest ones. From here you will get the idea for each and every option. So here I have got alkene, alkyne, alkene and alkanes. So you need to first of all remove the H positive, remove the proton and then see the stability of the anion. That would be our approach over here. So I remove the H positive. So here what do we have? This kind of an anion obtained. Again what here I have got is this kind of an anion and an anion like that. So I've got these three. Now how to judge the stability? So I need to find out the stability of the three. So a stable anion is that which is able to hold the negative charge properly. So which of the following is able to hold the charge very properly, the negative charge? The one which is having higher electronegativity? Yes, that would be our approach over here. So a better anion or I can say a stable anion. A stable anion would be the one having high electronegativity. I am writing this in short, that is electronegativity. Having high electronegativity, that means what? That means able to hold the negative charge. That is what a stable anion is. So able to hold negative charge. So that would be our approach. And if you see here very carefully, on the basis of S character we have got the answer. So on the basis of S character, alkynes are always, that means the triple bond is always having what? Always having the highest S character. This is sp hybridized having 50% S character, and here I have got 33.33%, approximately I am talking about. That means this is nothing but sp2 hybridized, and over here it's nothing but sp3 having the least possible S character. More the S character, more will be the electronegativity, so that is our answer to it. So it would be 25% approximately, that is the S character. So this would definitely be holding the negative charge more in a more proper manner. So anything related to alkyne, if you see, would be having the higher acidity as compared to the alkanes. So let us just analyze the options here. Alkene followed by alkene followed by alkyne. So that could not be the option, because alkyne is always having higher acidity as compared to the alkene. So if you look on the option number B, alkyne followed by again an alkyne followed by an alkene and followed by alkane. So that could be a possibility, but let us just analyze the rest of the two. Alkyne followed by alkene followed by alkyne. So that means an alkene sandwich in between. So this could not be the possibility. Alkane having the highest, this can never be possible. Alkane will be having the least acidity always, because it is having the least S character. So I hope you have got the answer by now. It is B. So that is our option, that is our answer. I hope you all have followed the idea. Let's quickly move on to the next one. So the next one says, it's a pretty easy question. You need to just analyze all the options. There is not much work to be done over here. So the correct statement regarding the comparison of staggered as well as the eclipsed conformations of ethane. So we all know how to form the staggered as well as the eclipsed conformations of ethane. So let us just quickly draw them. I need the conformations for ethane molecule here in this case. So you need to judge which one of these is ethane I am talking about. Okay. Ethane means 2 carbons. I have already drawn the 2 carbons. I need to mention the rest of the hydrogens now. So that is what it is. And again I am drawing again another structure. What is this all about? Having maximum repulsions. So this one is having the least repulsions. That means this is nothing but, yes, I hope you all have recognized this. This is staggered over here. So that is staggered. And what do we have over here? We have got having the maximum repulsions. If you can see, the 2 hydrogens are actually parallel to each other, lying parallel. The 2 hydrogens are behind each other. So that is what we are going to observe over here. So it will be eclipsed conformation. So we all know how to draw the eclipsed and staggered. We have got it. Now let us just analyze the options over here. The eclipsed conformation of ethane is more stable than the staggered. It cannot be possible. Eclipsed is always at higher, or I can say its least unstable structure, because it has got the maximum repulsions as compared to the staggered, which has got the minimum, because each and every hydrogen is anti to each other, if you see. So the eclipsed conformation of ethane is more stable than the staggered conformation. Again, not possible. I need not go into the detail of the options. So these are not done. What I have next, the staggered conformation of ethane is more stable. Yes, that is definitely true. Then eclipsed conformation, because staggered conformation has no torsional strain. So let us just have another option as well. The staggered conformation of ethane is less stable. Okay. Then the eclipsed conformation, because the staggered has, okay. So they have, what all they have actually mentioned. Staggered conformation is less stable. Is it? No, it is not. In the next, the staggered conformation is more stable, that is, the eclipsed conformation is more stable. the eclipsed conformation is more stable. So you need not go into the detail of the options, we have got the answer right over here, that is the staggered conformation is more stable. That is always the answer. But let us just complete the sentence, because staggered conformation has no torsional strain. Is it true? What about the torsional strain? What is the torsional angle? The torsional angle is actually this. So if you see here, there is so much of torsional strain because the angle is least. The dihedral angle over here, it is 0 degree. Highest torsional strain here in this case. Torsional means whenever the two things, torsion if you can say, two things move, so they have got a strain in between. So that kind of a strain we are talking about. So over here there is no torsional strain as compared to the eclipsed. So I hope you all have got the answer over here. Staggered is always a stable one. C is the answer. I hope you all have got it right. So let us just move on to the next one. So the next question says, yes. So it's also a pretty easy question if you know how to do the conversions. So that is also an important question over here. What kind of a catalyst we have used? So in the reaction, there is nothing but the acetylene they have mentioned. Acetylene, so first it is reacted with, they have got a reaction over here. First it is reacted with this kind of a reagent. So you need to recall what reagent is this. And the second step would be they are making it react with the alkyl halide. So you need to obtain something. What is that something? That something is X over here that is mentioned. Now this X which has been obtained is again made it react with the similar reagent and we obtain Y. So you need to find out the values of X as well as Y. So let us just try to perform the reaction. It's quite easy. So I've got acetylene. And they have made it react with NaNH2 in the presence of liquid ammonia. So what kind of a reagent is this? This is the Birch reduction that we are doing here. So that is the catalyst for Birch reduction. Birch reduction, that means what? So you need to have this triple bond removed. Or what kind of an answer we would be getting over here? Here there is acidic hydrogen, we all know. This acidic hydrogen goes off and Na positive gets attached over here. So in order to increase the series, we actually perform this very reaction. We actually use this very reagent. So CH triple bond, C, Na positive, C negative. So that is what we are getting over here in this reaction. Now I need to perform the step number 2, that is alkyl halide, that means bromoethane. So I need to react it with bromoethane. So let us just try to react it. Now what will be happening? NaBr goes off and this entire alkyl molecule over here gets attached onto the carbon, increasing the carbons in the main series. So what do I get over here? CH2 and CH3. So that is what we are getting over here, and NaBr. So I hope you all have got it, all you have followed up. So I need to perform again this very kind of a reaction using a similar reagent and using what? Using again the alkyl bromide. So that is what you need to do. Here I have got X. So this is nothing but X. Now this X is again treated up with the similar reagents. Again what we have got here is, we have got here again another acidic hydrogen. It also gets removed, and what do we get? We get an Na positive. Similar way we have to do. So that means we get Na positive, C negative. That is what we are getting again. And again I need to increase the series, add up more carbon atoms, alkyl bromide again. So that is what we are getting. And we get another set of carbons attached onto the other side. So that is what we are getting over here. So I hope you all have got the same very answer. Here the x was this and the y is this. That means how many carbon atoms? Let us just count 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to have a but 1 ine. So that is but 1 ine. And what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Having 6 carbons, that is hex, and I've got 1, 2, 3. Hex 3 ine. So that is the answer. That means I need but 1 ine and hex 3 ine. Where is it? But 1 ine and hex 3 ine. I've got the answer over here. I hope you all have got it too. It was a very simple reaction. As soon as you know the type of reagents and what kind of a function are they performing, it's a matter of few seconds to solve the answer. So let's move on to the next question. Now, it's a typical kind of a question and it involves a good knowledge, a good logic over here. So what you need to do is, a benzene is reacting with a cyclohexene and in the presence of HF. So if you do not know what kind of a reaction you need to perform, so let us just first analyze what kind of options it is having. So I need to react it with the hydrogen fluoride. So that is our main motive. So I've got 4 options over here. If you see, the two rings are getting connected. So that is what we want. So the 2 rings are getting connected. Let us just see how can we proceed in the reaction. So I have got a benzene. I need to react it with the cyclohexene in the presence of a reagent. What kind of a reagent it is? HF. So first of all, I need to break down the reagent. So let us just break down it. HF will be breaking in H positive plus F negative. So that is what we need. And now this H positive will try to act. It will try to act where? Either it can choose the electron density which is present on the benzene or the electron density over here. So what would be the easy option? So the easy option would be not the benzene because it is already very stable. It will allow least things to attack on it. But over here cyclohexene will be, obviously this is not aromatic. So this will be not very stable. So that means what? It can allow the H positive at first sight. So how will it allow? Actually this H positive will be attacking on this electron density over here and the electron density will actually move on to either of the carbons in order to have an attack. So if I move it to the other side, any of the sides would be the similar one. So I've got a negative here and a positive here. So definitely this H positive is going to attack here. And what do I get? I have got an electrophile over here now. So the electrophile which has been generated, I'm writing it here. A benzene again, along with a hydrogen and a positive here. So that is what we have. Now what will be the final step? The electrophile always attacks on the electron density. Now where is the remaining electron density present in the reaction? That is on the benzene ring. So it will definitely be going to react over here. How? Again the similar kind of a process. This is electrophile, let me just mention it. And what will happen now? Negative over here, positive over here. So definitely this positive will go on to attack onto this very site. So what do we get? We get a benzene attached with a cyclohexane. So that is what we have over here. And also what do we need? It was a scenario something like this, a positive generated over here. But if you observe over here, I have got a hydrogen as well. So in order to maintain the aromaticity of the ring, What will happen? That is the final step. In each and every kind, if you have observed each and every kind of a electrophilic substitution reaction in the aromatic rings, so that is how the process is. The last step is always the hydrogen gives up the electrons to maintain the aromaticity and it goes off. So that is what is happening over here as well. And what do we get is, we get a double bond over here. So that is what we need. I hope you all have got you have followed up the mechanism very well. So let us just observe which one of the options. I need not to be attaching the fluorines. Fluorine is not our concern. These two options here, it's a bizarre kind of a product which they have given, and that is the answer. I hope you all have got it too. So now let's just move on to the next one. Yes. 2,3-dimethyl-2-butene can be prepared. So I need this very product. This can be prepared by heating which of the following compounds with a strong acid. So I need to make it, all of these compounds react with the strong acid. That means having what? Having H positive ions. So it's a pretty simple reaction. You need to just have a reaction with H positive, reaction with a proton. So I need the product which has been given in the question. So that is our reaction. So let us just try to perform each and every kind of a reaction. I have got 4 over here. What will it be? Again the H plus will attack where? It will attack on the electrons. Where are the electrons? Towards the double bond, towards the pi electrons which are weak and able to react. So here is the pi electrons. So where will that be shifting? That is the concern. So let us just analyze number 1. So if I shift this here, what will happen? I get a positive carbocation generated over here, that is a primary carbocation. So I can shift what? I can have a methyl shift or a hydride shift. What can it be? So if you observe, I have got 2 kinds of shifts. I have got methyl shift, I have got hydride shift. So these are the shifts which are possible in order to obtain a stable carbocation. So that is what we need here in this question, stable carbocation. So I hope you all are following up. So what do I need? If I shift this carbon here, that means I am doing the methyl shift. So if this methyl shifts onto here, the positive will shift onto this very carbon which will be secondary. But if I shift this hydride here, what will happen? I get a tertiary carbocation. So what will be the answer here in this case? So the answer would be, so I hope you all are getting, I am shifting the hydride in order to get a positive tertiary carbocation. So what do I get? CH, CH3 and CH3. So that is what we are getting here, and I need to attach it with, again I need to prepare 2,3-dimethyl-2-butene. That means I am making it react in such a manner, and again I get a double bond over here. This H positive will be neutralized by the acid itself. Now if I try to perform the secondary reaction, what will happen? Again the shifting will be towards that carbon which result in the maximum stable carbocation. That means again this, I get a positive here, and in order to obtain, this is what? This is a secondary carbocation that we have obtained. In order to obtain more stable carbocation, what will happen? I can have, there are 3 methyls, I can shift 1 methyl. Because there is no hydride, I cannot have an option for hydride shift, but a methyl shift. So what do I get? 2, because I have shifted 1, a carbon, CH3, and that is what we have. This very kind of a reaction. Okay, let me just remove the double bond over here, because the double bond now will be shifted to either of the sides. So it will be shifted to either of the sides. Let me just have that side. So it could be this side or that side. So if I put the double bond here or I put the double bond over here. So that can be the either possible cases. As per the options, we will see. So over here as well, double bond, okay. And here I have got a tertiary carbocation over here, and where the double bond will be shifted either to this or that side. So let me just have it here only. I am representing this as the dash as well as these. So let us just quickly have the answers for the remaining two. Over here, what do you see? Again, I will be shifting it towards this side, because here I will be having a tertiary carbocation. Again, the double bonds will be somewhere like this. C, CH, that is the positive. So that is what it is. It is just kind of a transition state, not the exact answer. We are just looking for a proper option that would correlate to this very product. And now what do we have? We have got this. Again, I need to be shifting here. So the hydride shift will definitely be come upon. Now, we have analyzed all the four options. We need 2,3-dimethyl. So let us just have 2,3-dimethyl. Where is it? I need butene. I need butene. So this could not be an option because it has got more than 4. Can I have an option over here? Or can I have an option over here? So what would be the answer in this case? So I have got how many carbon atoms? Here if you see, I have got many. It would result in not butene but something else more than but. That could be pent. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That could even result in but. But if you count this very carbon atom. So this is one methyl, and that is what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have got 5. How many I have got here? I have got, okay, 1. Let me just have a methyl over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3 dimethyl butene. As I told you that there is a possibility of a double bond over here. So we can have a double bond over here. So the answer would definitely be this, having the least number of carbons resulting in 2,3-dimethyl butene. That is the answer. So I hope you are able to follow up that how the hydride shift is taking place, how the methyl shift is taking place. So the answer would be B in this case. That was a typical kind of a question. You need to have a proper hold over the mechanism. So I hope you all have got it. Let us just now move to the next very question. What do we have? Which of the following compounds do not produce propene by reaction with HBr followed by the elimination? So I need to make it react with HBr. That is our first step. So this very step will be the first. First is HBr, and the second one is I have got the elimination. Also a similar would be similar scenario in each one of them. So I need to have a proper product. What kind of a proper product shall not produce a propene? So I do not need propene. That means out of 4, 3 would be producing propene and 1 would be not. So I hope you all have got the question here. So let us just have the answers to it. So I can either shift this very this very cyclopropane ring will be breaking. So it will be breaking on either of the sides. Let us just break over here. So what do I have? A negative here, a positive obtained here. So the negative, so HBr I have got, HBr will be breaking into H positive plus Br negative. So that is what it is. So on the positive the Br gets attached, and on to the negative the H gets attached. What do I get? I get CH3, CH2, CH2, Br. So that is the first one. And after the elimination what do we get? we get a propene. Definite, it is very much definite with this very reaction. So I've got CH. So that is what we are getting. So this is not our option. So if you observe here, what do we have? Again, I need to make it react with HBr. So if I make it react with HBr, what do I have? I've got certain lone pairs over here. Also, what kind of a reaction is it? CH3, CH2, CH2, OH. So after the attachment, first of all I have got HBr, H positive plus Br negative. That means here what we have? This will act upon this, and finally after the elimination what do we happen? There will be a loss of water molecule definitely, and again what we are getting is a propane. So that is what we are getting over here as well. There is no role of a bromine here. That is the second one. So again, this was not an option, this was not an option. Here let us observe just this one. So what do we have? Again I need to make it react. Again the H positive will come into play. So I have got CH2 double bond C. What kind of a compound is that? That is ketene. So that is ketene. And what do you need to have is a shifting over here, because there is a carbonyl group. So you need to always shift it towards the oxygen. I have got H plus plus Br negative. So the Br negative would be, okay, I have got H positive and Br negative. So H positive will go on to the negative part and Br negative would be going to the positive part. So what do we have? That is what we are getting. So if you observe, this is nothing but a keto-enol form. So that is an enol form here obtained. So can I make it an aldehydic form? Definitely I can. So it would be CH3, CH, Br, CHO. So that is not a propene. We need to have this very answer. So here we have got the answer, but let us just have the next option as well. So are we getting here propene or not? So I have got a CH3, CH2, CH2Br. So that is what it is. Yes, definitely after the elimination, what do we get? A double bond over here, nothing but a propene. So I hope you are able to follow all the type of reactions, all the type of mechanisms. So what do we get? We get C as the answer, that is the ketene. So let us just move on to the next question. What do we have? Here there has been given 3 compounds. So just quickly observe the compounds over here. First is fully aromatic, if you see, that is aromatic. Here what it is? I have got, again there is some kind of a resonance stabilization, but to this very side, not from this side. And if you see, there is no such kind of a resonance stabilization. So these are the 3 compounds given. I need to have the enthalpy of hydrogenation of the compounds will be in the order. So you need to try to recall the concept here. What is hydrogenation? I need to attach the hydrogens over here. So how the hydrogens are attached? Onto the double bonds, but they need to get shifted. So if you see over here, if I shift this as this very compound, I have got negative, I have got a positive over here. So I can have hydrogenation how? Either the hydrogen will be provided from the reagent itself, or this very hydrogen can also jump over here in order to create a positive carbocation that would again be resonance stabilized. So that is how the reaction could be, that is how the mechanism could be. If you see over here, again there will be a shifting in each one of them, either of the ways. So can you see a resonance stabilization? There cannot be a resonance stabilization over here, a negative obtained here, a positive. Let us just say a negative, a positive. So that is how there will be some kind of a shifting of pi electrons. But if you see over here, and if I try to shift it this ways, let's just say this is negative, this is positive. So there is a proper aromatic stabilization over here in this ring. That means the hydrogenation will be favorable to the most stable structure, followed by the next stable one and followed by the least stable one. So that is, you need to just check out the stability of the structures and you get the answer. I hope you all have got it. It is 1 followed by 2 and then 3. So that is the enthalpy of hydrogenation. More stable is the structure, more stable the formation of a structure, more heat of hydrogenation or more enthalpy of hydrogenation will be released. So I hope you all have got the answer. It's 1, 2 and 3. So where do we have 1, 2 and 3? Yes. Option number 1 is the answer for that. So I hope you all have got the answer right. Next, what do we have? Which of the following compounds will not undergo Friedel-Crafts reaction easily? So that means I need to have a Friedel-Crafts reaction. First is the cumene. I hope you all can form the structure of cumene. If not, just follow me over here. That is a cumene, and the reactions related to cumene are very much frequent in the exam. You need to remember the structure as it is. So that is cumene. Again, what do we have? We have xylene. Xylene could be having 2 methyls. It may be orthoxylene, para or metaxylene. So any one of them, I am drawing it. Again, what do we have? A nitrobenzene. And lastly, what do we have? I have got toluene, again 1. So that is what compounds we are given with. You need to have which will not undergo Friedel-Crafts. So what is the basis of Friedel-Crafts? That is electrophilic substitution reaction. I hope you have recalled the concept. So you need an electrophile or a E+ to attack onto the benzene ring. So the structure that is having the highest electron density will be most favorable. So the Friedel-Crafts is always favored, is having the electrophile to attack, favors electron density. That means what? The one having higher electron density, this will be having, this will be having, and this will be having. If you look on the nitrobenzene, this is showing the minus R effect. So that is showing minus R effect, decreasing the electron density. The electron density of the entire benzene ring is actually decreasing. It is deactivating group. That means what? This will not give the Friedel-Crafts. That is our answer. So the next question, let us just quickly discuss the next, that is the second last question over here. Nitrobenzene can be prepared from the benzene by using a mixture of, yes, that is a nitrating mixture they have given. In the mixture, nitric acid is acting as a, so I need to have a proper hold over the mechanism for this reaction. I have got benzene. What is a nitrating mixture? Concentrated HNO3 plus concentrated H2SO4. So that is what we want is a nitrobenzene. So let us just move on to the mechanism quickly. Here I have got HNO3 and H2SO4. H2SO4 breaking into H positive plus HSO4 negative. So what actually happens in the mechanism is the H positive attacks onto this oxygen, the water goes off and we get an electrophile over here which is NO2 positive, and that is what is reacting onto the benzene ring, and this is how the reaction happens. This is the mechanism. So if you observe, H2SO4 is donating H positive, it is donating, whereas this is accepting H positive, that means it is acting as what? It is acting as a base, whereas H2SO4 is acting as an acid. So we need to find out our options, not a reducing agent, not an acid. They are asking about the nitric acid basically, so that is acting as a base. I hope you all have got it. That was the catalyst. So just correct it over here. I hope you all have got the option that is base. The nitric acid is actually acting as a base. So again and again I am telling you, you need to have a proper hold over the mechanisms for the organic chemistry especially. The last question now, which alkene on ozonolysis give? It's a super easy question, you just need to perform the ozonolysis. So in each and every option, let us just try to perform the ozonolysis. What is ozonolysis basically? reacting with the allotrope of oxygen in the presence of, let us just say, CH2Cl2, and followed by reduction. So reduction is H2OZn. So you need to have these kind of reagents for ozonolysis. And what else do we have? We have got, first is the formation of ozonide followed by the reduction process. So what is actually, I am just quickly giving you an idea about it. You need to break this down. Again you need to break this down. Basically ozonolysis is nothing but breakdown of the double bonds. Again you need to break this down. So one will be converted into aldehyde if it is a terminating carbon. If it is not a terminating carbon, it will be turned into a ketone. So that is what we need. So I am just performing only one. So let us just take up the first very example. Here what do we get? CH3, CH2, CH, and that is how the ozonide is formed. And yes, there is a carbon, CH3, CH3. So is that our answer? Let us just check. So you need to break it down. That's a kind of a house which is formed, nothing but the ozonide, CH3, CHO plus the acetone. So I hope you all are able to follow up. So is this what they want? Yes, definitely, that is what they want, and a similar kind of a procedure will be used to check each and every option. Here also you will be getting acetone, but over here you get a 2 carbons, that is the ethanol, 2 carbon aldehyde. Over here you have got 2 aldehydes, and in this very option again 2 aldehydes having 3 carbons each. So I hope you all have got it. This very answer is the right one. So I hope you all have enjoyed the questionnaire and you are able to perform maximum number of mechanisms and maximum number of questions. You need to practice these out because these are the typical questions which has been taken from the previous years. So just keep on revising, keep on practicing in order to have a good hold over the subject. Till then, just take care and have a good day.